All right, so if we look at these rack positions in different bells, how might this change? We got a sport bell, it's 14 kilogram. The thing about sport bells, they're all gonna be roughly the same. All right, so let's suppose we have a good hand insertion, so diagonal deep. We're not doing this silliness where the bell handle is perpendicular, pulling me into a rack, and then you get stupid cues like flex your wrist. That's just wasted energy. Just do a good hand insertion, and then you don't have to worry about wasting effort, all right? It should also rotate it, be more comfortable on the wrist when you do it that way. So, good rack, thumb, collarbone, arm against your chest. Usually that means my upper arm be on the ribs. But if I go to squat, if I try to keep my arm glued to my ribs, a lot of times people are going to need to go here in their squat. That has the bell moving forward of my center of mass. This just is an upright or an isometric curl. It's a stupid thing to ask somebody to do. So obviously, let the elbow come up, lose the connection there, so you have a horizontal surface to hold the kettlebell on. That makes a ton of sense, right? Of course it does. So if that's my relaxed rack position, more of a sport rack position, I'm not claiming to have a great sport rack position because I don't really train sport, but you can see with the arch in the back and this move, I'm creating a shelf or a platform for the bell to sit on. That's different than a hard style rack, where now the bell is literally in front of my center of mass a little bit, so I have to work harder to hold it there. Hard style versus efficiency. One's not better, one's not worse. They're just training different goals. Okay, so if we got the size of the bell here, this is a 14 kilogram. If we go with a 12 kilograms, somewhat similar, you can see how much closer this is to my body, right? Look at how much different these sizes are. Because of that shape, it's not a huge lever, but it's out in front a little bit more. So the bigger the bell, the more the mass moves away from me. The more it moves away from me, the harder it is to hold your arm from falling down. Therefore, oftentimes, the more we're going to get a lift of the elbow to create a platform so the bell has something to sit on. It's math, it's physics, it's whatever, geometry, whatever the hell you want to call it. So, I should warm up before these cleans. However, tigers don't warm up. No. 106-pound bell. See where this one sits? All right, boom. That's if I'm elbow on rib cage. It wants to roll forward. Elbow lift a little bit. I can feel it sit on me. This is a much better position. Other bell. Huge width on this handle. I like to go up towards index side. Problem with that, and I'll show you in a second here, is if I go index side, the bell's rolling forward here. If I go pinky side, see how the bell rolls up on me? Forward, trying to tip, on me. So if I'm doing lower body stuff, I like pinky side. Makes the rack position that much more efficient. Doesn't translate to a press very well, but if I'm only thinking about lower body, it can be helpful. Now we saw where that sat. If I do the same weight with stacked bells, let's see how far it pulls forward or what it does. So same weight in a stacked rack position, you can see the bells are more vertical, closer to my body. I can keep this elbow down more efficiently. Now, obviously, stacked bells impart a different challenge of control. I'm not recommending that you do that. That's just to prove a point to somebody that had made a comment about stacked bells being what they do for 100 pounds. It's not the same goddamn thing. They're different shapes. stacked, the bells stay closer to you. Fat bells, they're further away. It's the far away from you component in a rack that is trying to pull your body forward, trying to pull your arm forward, and generally why you'll see a lean back or a sideways, because people are creating a platform to place the bell on. So it's kind of a meandering blah of information that you couldn't, shouldn't, in my opinion, just have this black and white arbitrary, this is exactly where your rack should be, no matter the size, shape of the bell. That works for comp bells, right? Until you actually watch different competitors have slightly different rack positions because their arm length is different than their torso length. Some people can find their hip bone, some people can't, some have bellies, some don't. The whole idea of here's your goddamn form and don't deviate from it is so stupid when you look at all the different factors that go into what shape and position is going to work best for somebody. So anyway, meandering ramble on about kettlebell rack position. I guess at the end of the day, don't be soft. Can we do the 106 in one hand? That would be a tough, potentially wrist-breaking position. Fuck it. Yeah, you got it.